Welcome back to the Charismatic Voice. Today's song is a sort of birthday present for me, and I've never heard the cult before, so I have no idea what I'm getting into. But my hubby said that this song reminds him of me, and he has excellent taste. So let's get to it. Ooh. All right, this is a swirl of so many sounds from the get-go. So I feel as if I just dove into some sort of like magical pool, and I'm going somewhere I totally did not expect. I'm really not sure where we're going still. I love the way that initially that sound it sort of bounced around a bunch, and it felt uh my gosh, I guess it felt almost what I think it would feel like to be on mushrooms. And then as we got into it, it just got heavier. It was a really thick kind of drive overall, but complemented by this like very colorful swirl. Okay, we're gonna go back to the beginning. The way that this bounces around in the headphones is fascinating. Ooh, that is interesting. It sounds like he's doing a really like not a natural vibrato there, but one that is intentionally adding tension to create more vibrato. Phew. Yeah. Well, that's really fascinating. I'm sure as I listen to him more, I'll get an idea about how he's using vibrato overall. But in this specific circumstance, obviously he starts the sound without any vibrato, and I also like the way it's in the background, almost sounds like this call from far away that's drawing you into the song. But when it gets to that vibrato there, it is one that is put on to achieve the sound. It's not something you relax into. The kind of vibrato that most of us are familiar with in Western culture, at least, is a vibrato that's achieved by periodic relaxation of muscles. But there are other ways to achieve vibrato. Some people will essentially sort of manufacture a little bit of vertical bobbing. You can add different puffs of air or like glottal attacks to create a sort of bleating vibrato. So there's lots of ways to bring it in. This is one that is more unusual to hear for sure. It's a fascinating experience. Right, that entire buildup, uh, it just felt like it was all preparation to draw us into this wild ride. All right, I have some first impressions here of Ian's voice. Ian Astbury, I think, is our lead singer's name. He is really, uh, he's really going in and out of this raspy sound. And to me, it sounds like he's essentially going from total clean singing, meaning we have just a pitch being created by his true vocal folds at times, with very bluesy influence for sure in that pitch creation too. And then we get this, there's texture that comes on top. I think that that is probably being created by his area epiglottic folds. It sounds like it's um, almost a little similar to a Louis Armstrong kind of texture. So that's going to be usually created by an upper laryngeal structure. And different people use different things. But that one to me sounds like it's sort of like closing right here instead of being right here where it's being created. And that sound, he's moving in and out, almost like to kind of purposely make the overall tone a little dirty sometimes. Back once more. Ooh, even more. Right, that's totally clean right there. Oh, there's a little squeak too. You. Wow. So this far in the song, he's actually had very little range he's demonstrated pitch-wise, but the range of expression in this style is massive. I think it goes to demonstrate you can be a fantastic singer without needing a huge range. I'm curious where he's going to go, right? This is just like the initial build. But the way he can choose to be exactly on a pitch or slide all around it, it sounds like he's got a lot of pent-up energy / desire as he's singing this. I love the way he's essentially channeling that emotion into his voice. And there are lots of moments when he's choosing a specific way to release a note. And I'll get into that a lot more, I think, later. Let's keep going for now. Wow. He reminds me a little bit of Danzig, actually. I'm gonna come back a little more. I'm shocked by how much movement I see on stage. I don't think that this actual performance is what we're hearing, though I could be wrong. I think that we're getting essentially an overdub of the sound because we're getting lots of different pictures of it looks like a live performance kind of conglomerated. And he's doing so much movement on stage, yet his voice sounds really grounded the whole time. It sounds like it's coming from somewhere primal inside, like it's just attached to the stomach. Yeah, it looks like a conglomeration. We had so many different views. And some with tambourine, some not. What is his background with some of these like little tiny dance steps I'm seeing? I'm not sure. Like at one point I thought, oh, is there some country line dancing that happened in there? Maybe that's just the boots. At one point it looked like he was doing a little Charleston, almost like a flapper. actually a really great example of an offset right there. That's interesting. But before I talk about that, I want to briefly discuss all of the different sounds and the different colors, essentially different tones that I'm hearing in the music. I love this drive overall from the band. It feels like it's always pushing forward, yet there's also a feeling of laying sort of laid back. So you get this aggressive yet bluesy at the same time. And then it still has this sort of swirling thing happening at times. It's a very, very interesting experience overall. But yeah, drive. And then in his voice, when we start getting all of these tones together, his voice has a depth and a certain sweetness that's natural to the tone. But then when he adds that drive in his voice, often we'll get that extra, what sounds like a little bit of a rasp on top. And it's like a totally different combination of flavors, almost like we've got this stew with spices just swirling all around. And we've got a nice balance of the different herbs and the salt and the pepper. And maybe there's just a tiny element of like a juiciness in there. Okay. I love food. Did you guys know that? Okay. Well, I'm going to go back one more time. It's like a bouncy moonwalk. Wow. Wow. So much hair is just flying around. We got like so many Samsons here. What happens if we cut it? Ah! It's a terrible question. You could ask Metallica. We're going to go back a little bit because there are some really awesome details in here that I want to dig into. First of all, I like this guitar solo, and I feel like it's just a taste. Okay, right there on the up, if you listen really carefully at the very end, there's this tiny little break off. So he releases some tension and lets the voice like flip up into high register just briefly. It's like the tiniest beginning of a yodel. Little cry, essentially. And again, we're going just back and forth between a couple pitches here. It feels so bluesy, but with that extra element. And the way that he chooses to either be gooey, essentially, and catch some of the pitches between, or go straight between two different pitches is very specific and part of what adds to that overall definitive style. Right, there's a lot of goo in that part. Yeah, a lot of sliding. Now that part is fascinating because when he goes up, he actually starts to lose some of that pitch clarity that we've had in a lot of the other songs. This is the first time where the essentially distortion or that extra grit that he's putting on top is so much that it starts to make the pitch feel a little bit more disparate. It's a fun extra level, I think, of texture to add to say, oh, it's even more insistent now. like lots of turnouts and turn back in. So when I say bluesy, there's so many different things I'm referring to, right? That's why when sometimes it's just easier to reference an entire genre and say that it feels like that genre rather than all the specifics that make it feel that way. But one of the things that stands out the most as making it feel that way is the way that he's sliding up to a lot of pitches on the top and kind of hovering just underneath them a little bit. It's like bah, 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 that kind of feeling over and over. Ooh, that, that kind of sound is easier to make when you're getting over a cold. I'm on the tail end of one here. And let me tell you, I have some extra mucus I can use and some rattle right now. Right there. Ow! Ow! That part is the great example of like lots of approaching that top pitch, sliding into it, and often hovering just a little bit below. We'll keep going now. Ooh. So many dance moves. Ooh. Sort of coming back to that really psychedelic ride, I think it was such an interesting shift in texture here to make it feel more expansive. When he's been singing, a lot of times we've gotten a pepper of words and then a little more extended, but then in the instrumental break to really say, we're going to mega extend this. I like that kind of contrast versus, just having a total breakdown might be something we would see in a song today. This is a really, really cool solo. Back to it. The beats underneath are cut in half at this point as far as the really heavy ones. What a great high note. And the fade. Ooh. Oh, were you? What I've been missing. I'll tell you truthfully. Ooh. It's like little elements of Elvis in his voice too. The way he's performing this particular piece, it's getting this like sassy sort of nasality in it that it cuts, and it's got this a little more personal feel to it. So far it's mostly felt like he's just screaming with some desire, and then this part's like, hey, I'm gonna approach you a little closer in the ear and tell you about how much I dig you. I like this song. Oh, there's a really nice echo in the background there in the vocal. Really cool rhythm too. Oh, I got so many shivers from that section. Oh my goodness. You know how you can start to get shivers and then they just continue to prick up for like a few seconds afterwards? That was a really crazy section. Oh my gosh, almost like a carnival right there. Oh, whoa, whoa. And the way that they brought it back here before sort of taking us on this wild, twisty, that not knowing up from down is, ah, wow. I'm sorry. This section is amazing. Oh, the anticipation is amazing, especially when you know it's coming now. The slides in there, the way it's going shoo, shoo, swirling in the headphones. And the drums. Ooh, everything about that. Ooh. Wow. Okay, I have an analogy of what I think this is like. I guess simile. I feel like we went on a hike here. Like before you were parking in the line, you're like, yeah, I'm gonna do this cool thing. I'm gonna go on this amazing hike. And then you're like having that drive, like, yeah, we're going up the hill. And then we had this peaceful moment up top where you're looking out, right? You're like, oh, wow, this is a beautiful view. And then you get on a zip line. Okay? That section was a zip line. And we are like freaking zooming back down right now. Okay, I loved that section. Wow. He was literally humping the stage there. Wow. Bold. Very sexual. I think the song is, definitely about a lot of sensuality. Thanks, hubby. And I wanted to comment a little bit on the vibrato too before we, get all the way to the end, just so you guys can listen for it as well. When he's doing the driven sound, he's not bringing vibrato in. It's more pressed, especially when he's going in for some of that extra rasp on the sound. Pressed, we very rarely hear vibrato enter there. But when he backs up, he actually almost sounds like he over relaxes at some points and makes the vibrato even really wide. He goes for a vibrato that is, it feels like it relaxes a ton and then maybe gets a little extra impetus to make it even wider. It's a fascinating use of vibrato to me. Zone. Interesting pronunciation. Wow. Whoa. He definitely is doing a lot of crazy stuff on stage. And I have to say once again, seeing somebody do all of these things on stage, it can really make the sense of support disappear when you're moving around so much. But everything I've heard sounds like it's very, very attached. I wonder if when he's, rolling on the floor, like we just saw him rolling over the side at one point. I wonder if the sound is still really consistent. Let me know if you're in the live premiere with me, if that is indeed the case. I'm not blushing, you are. Oh. dropping the mic over the side. That's, whoa. Did he just bounce the mic on stage? Did that just happen? Dropped it there. What did he threw something down. Oh my gosh, it's hard to see with all the smoke. Wow. I feel sorry for the cure. Ooh, that's a fun kind of exotic fade out. Well, that was fun and smoky, steamy. Wow. I'll take that for a birthday song, sure. If you guys want to see some more songs that I consider very steamy, here's an analysis playlist over here, and may you fall more in love with music every day.